Hey, folks, good evening. We are back here for day 6 of the Esports Premier Series, brought to you by Esports.in and a smart lock screen partner Glance. With me, your host, Kapil A6, is a very special guest, Shubham Das, our admin for the entire event from the ISC side. So, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here, and yeah, really excited to get some action started and starting a bit later than usual today. But although that should not deter us from having seen good racing tonight, so hoping for the best.
Yeah, well, it's been a topsy-turvy ride for Group B, so we are jumping back to Group B here for Qualifier 2, and this is their last chance and to put in the best representative times to show them what they've got. So let's quickly jump onto the schedule to show you guys what it is that we're going to be showcasing here for day 6. It's going to be a 20-minute qualifying session. I believe, yeah, it is Barcelona. So there's a small correction there, followed by Superpole at Barcelona. Race 1 is a 20-minute session. Since we're running a little behind on schedule, we're shortening it to that. And then race 6, in this regard, the last race for them will be back at Spa
No,
or
they're at
Monza.
Monza tonight. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the correction. Alrighty then. Yeah. So we're just about to get underway. I can definitely hear the engines roaring in my background. So we will switch in for a second. But SD, like, how's been the story so far for Group B? Who's been the hits and the misses?
Yep. I'm looking at the table right now, and to be honest, there's only a two-way fight for the top of the group in terms of points. It's looking close between UT Cool and Shan Seven, or we can call him as Shantanu Krishna Sagar. There are close contenders behind. Like there are three drivers with the same 40 to 45 points range, and the battle between Nirman, Kanak, and Faizan, who are all racing today. But given that the point scheme tonight is no, throughout all the session, all the weekend, all the week has been around very close, only 1 point difference. It will be a very tough challenge for drivers like Kiran to make up that gap between the points and basically get in the qualifying stages. Although this is not the end for them, they can try their best, but we do have a surprise for you tomorrow. That is, we have another chance tomorrow. These drivers will have another chance to set their lap times for the prize pool, as well as battle against amongst each other to get to the semis. So it's looking close tonight, but anything can happen.
Yeah, very well said. So how many of them are actually jumping on? So I think in qualifier 1 it was 4 from each session and 3 on the final day. Uh, we had lovely finish to Group A yesterday. How many from there are moving on, and who's actually qualified from Group A?
Yep. So we have had an update on that, and Group A will be taking two people, and as of now, pending the race's completion today, it's looking like UT Cole, Shan 7, and Nirban are going to go through. But as I said, this close in points and anything can happen after the races to end.
Close, tight-knit competition is exactly what we want to see, and we have finally started the third and final qualifying session here at Barcelona. Tejasvi absolutely on top form here, and the hot contender to take away the big money, the prize pool of 1,000 rupees. At this point in time, he is definitely got the pace, and he's been showcasing that all throughout the qualifying series. And this is his first qualifying lap. No, I think his second qualifying lap right now. Deepak is been hot on his tail the entire time, but he's just had a little extra in terms of the pace, and we'll have to wait and see how fares this time around. here at day 6. But looking promising for Deepak so far. He's put in a 1 minute 44.292 to begin, and Tejasvi has been well, he's half a second behind, but it's just the first set of laps where people are putting in their bankers. Moto unfortunately will not be joining in, so that was the trio battling for the lead in the last session. But yeah, last time around, just so much action. The entire mid pack had come alive, and Kiran Fernando at the end of it, pipping all of them. And in that regard, Barcelona can definitely deliver some twists and turns. We'll have to wait and see who will actually come out on top here for qualifying.
Yep, very well said. If I remember correctly, the best lap time ever done by a Group A driver in this qualifying has been a 44.5. So it's already looking, the pace is very red hot, with a 44.2 being the banker for Deepak. Um, so yeah, it's looking like this group definitely has the pace, and I'm really excited and looking forward to see the battle between Tejasvi and Deepak today.
Yeah, and as you say that, Tejas will be putting in a blistering lap of a 44.267, just 25 hundredths ahead. And I think that was just Deepak in the background, beached out of turn 2, saying, hey, you know what, I just ruined my lap. I'm going to head back into the pits and give it another shot. But as it stands, we've got the top two really close. Sarthak Ray was the man on the mission from Group A, and he's put out some nice times. But this pack here in Group B, they're just super close to each other. You can already see from P4 onwards, that they've got those clumps of drivers who are very equal in pace, and that's exactly what you love to see.
Yep, that's a good lap from Kiran right there, getting into the 44s, I believe. So, yeah, it's looking like a three-man pack, and him winning the last Barcelona race would give him really good confidence for him to convert that win into another win tonight. So, yeah, he needs to find another couple of tenths here and there, and on this track, definitely with the cars, with the GT3 cars especially, you can find those 3 tenths if you just push a bit more. Just break 10 meters later than you can into turn 1, into the infamous turn 10. So it's definitely can be reached, and Kiran will definitely look like one of the drivers who can maybe battle for the second spot on the first row.
Oh yeah, he had some blistering pace last time around in the last race. He started out all the way from the back to slice through the field while they were all kerfuffling. There was just so much action and pandemonium going on, and he managed to find his way through. Shan 7 and Kiran were like two peas in a pod for most of the race, and it was a pleasure to look at one of the Ferraris getting into the podium spots. And yeah, in this regard, for those who are yet to qualify, win and take the maximum points.
Yeah, just to remind folks here that we do have a Superpole session after this, so keeping yourself slotted in the top 5 is very important, even though we have to 7 tonight. But getting that single point for getting pole position in Superpole may turn out to be very important for these drivers, especially for Tejasvi and I think the next is Shan. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting if those guys can keep themselves in the top 5 today.
The gap is coming down with each and every lap, and each passing minute. It was 1.5 seconds. Now Shan 7 has improved to little under 4 tenths from Kiran. So those Ferrari boys really sticking together. Niman Shakya was another really unfortunate driver last time around. He also has some very nice pace. So I don't know. It's just an overall very competitive field. A lot of close racing was what we saw last time around, so I'm expecting more of that in the race to come in a few moments' time. But yeah, a very interestingly poised qualifying session with a little under 11 minutes to go. Wouldn't you agree, SD?
Yeah, it's definitely looking. The gaps are going to be closing with the 10-minute 45 to go, and I'm pretty sure Dark Knight and Faizan would be really, really looking forward to improving and getting at least within a second to the top guys, because I'm pretty sure these guys are not that regular on this game. But although we've seen in IRC especially, these guys have been blistering quick on their given day, and tonight maybe they're hoping that form is back with them, and hopefully they can at least pick up the pieces if the battle ahead gets a bit too feisty.
True. All to play for, and opportunistic eyes all throughout the field. And the last time was no way, definitely an indicator of that. Let's go on board with Deepak Raj, who's wearing a very special livery. It's very indicative of the Audi R8's true color. Actually, quite a we'll stick around for the rest of the lap. It is going into sector 3, where it's all technical, and the mid-engined Audi can be quite favorable for the turn-in. But I'll leave it to you, SD. I mean, you drove this car around this track. How did it feel when you were maneuvering these tight and twisty sections?
I mean, the car is a rocket ship, if I like to take Fernando Alonso's words, but it's definitely a rocket ship on the straight, and that helped me propel myself from P to P1 and overtaking Ninja. But in the middle sector, it's not a slouch, but the last sector does not favor the Audi at all. I would say it's really real strength is the high speed corners and the long straights that I hear. Even if with max swing you can easily surpass a McLaren, you can surpass a Ferrari. Of course, let's say a Mercedes or one of the Astons might actually beat you, but as we see Deepak going wide here, and that's definitely an invalidation. But to come back to your point, the Deepak would definitely want to, even if he doesn't get pole, he's not the number one spot. He's definitely trying to get himself a good start. As with an Audi, you can get a very, very good start with the grunt that the engine has, and will definitely try to put his nose in front from lap 1. So yeah, looking forward to that. Turn 1, definitely that's going to be coming ahead in the next half an hour or so.
Yeah, and the way it's looking right, again, we're not putting any predictions just yet. Maybe Kiran might find half 10 more and get into this mix as well. But the way it's looking right, if Tejasvi were to start on pole, that McLaren is not necessarily the quickest in a straight line. It's a fantastic overall car. We had a very long discussion yesterday about that post stream. The issue with the McLaren would be turn 1. Can you make it out ahead of that rocket ship, which will probably be beside you? It remains to be seen. Will you be on the inside or the outside? With such a minuscule gap between the two of them. So we'll have to wait and watch how that transpires. But either way, it's you wouldn't want to be in a McLaren going into turn 1 just because you've got the Ferraris, you've got the Audi who are just they're going to be men on missions to ensure that they give it their best and make themselves to be known to the likes of Tejasvi.
Yeah, definitely. I think McLaren's strength is definitely the middle sector and the final sector, definitely, with the insane traction that the McLaren has. Let's say one small prediction is, I'm pretty sure if he can keep his nose ahead into going in lap 1, pretty sure he can, if he has the pace and the consistency, he can keep Deepak behind, but that will all depend on the lap 1, and I'm pretty sure I would want to put all my baskets, all my bets into that lap 1, turn 1.
Yeah. Now, as you were talking through, Kiran Fernando and Sean Seven, both were actually in the same frame while they were going through the last lap. Both of them improved and brought down that gap. Sean Seven is a little under half a second to Tejasvi, and it's great improvement. Just showcasing that consistent laps in a corner in a track such as Barcelona is absolutely key to kind of really getting closer and closer to the top of the pack. And Kiran Fernando is now just under a tenth and half away from Tejasvi. So we very well might see a change in leadership the way Kiran is just slashing out those laps.
Yeah, I said before, as the session goes by, Kiran and the Ferraris in general definitely will come into the mix with the track improving slow and steady. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Tejasvi has a bit more time on his plate, and I'm expecting him to get to the low 44s, maybe 44-1, 44-0. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all the top four, each and every one of them have at least a couple of tenths the locker. So let's see who can extract it at the end of the session.
Yeah, we got under 5 minutes to go in the session. What about let's bring out the predictions, shall we? Who do you think is gonna be taking pole position right now? The end of the session.
Given how the session has spanned, I'm going to put my bets on Deepak as a 44. Okay, that changes everything if I just was planning, but yeah, that's a very strong lap from Deepak. 44-0 on a track which is 25 degrees. It's a really quick time. So yeah, my bets are now on Deepak.
I like that switcheroo at the end there. So 44-0 is your bet. That's going to stick. Or you might even improve. You might dips into 43s. Oh boy, that Audi is blistering fast.
First
Well,
sector definitely helps them. Yeah.
yeah. My prediction, I have been Kiran fan number one. I've been his loyal follower since qualifier one. So I will remain loyal to his cause. I mean, he's brought down the gap from 1.6 seconds all the way down to 3 tenths now. So I think he's got a little bit more in the bag, and I feel he's going to be surprising everyone. That's my opinion.
Yep. Deepak seems to have had a tidy lap, but I think that's definitely invalidation. He has gone way above the curves, over and beyond the track limits there. So has 3 minutes. He can go back to the pits and do a couple of laps in stint. And I think we just left the pits. So yeah, 3 minutes and let's say a 3-man shootout for the pole position. Yeah, that sounds about
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that sounds about right. We've got the red and white Audi coming down, screaming through in that beautiful V10 engine. To start another flying lap, he'll probably have one more opportunity after this. So let's stay on board. The spotting is breaking point fairly neatly. They're using a bit of the curve, not too much to unsettle the car because the wide exit out of turn 3 going into turn 4 is absolutely crucial to get right, and this time around he did that fairly well. Spotting is breaking under the banner, shooting out wide, and Deepak Raj is looking to keep that Audi at bay. That rocket ship really wants to start taking off. We saw that bit of oversteer in the middle sector. He has to keep it nice and tidy there, using all of the curb going into that chicane. But
Be too
I think he
much.
was not. Yeah, he was not pleased with that, which unsettled the car, and that he's gonna call it quits there.
Yeah, more or less the track limits, the braking points were perfect from him, but pretty sure he has a little bit of time. He went wide into turn 5, which would have lost him at least a couple of tenths there. So maybe he would have carried the lap. He would have been able to gauge how much he lost, but definitely he has quicker lap time in him as he just comes out of the pits again.
Yeah, he has to hurry there because he may not have the time to do another lap. We'll stay on board him, but in the back of the shot, you've got Sean 7 flying out. We've got Dark Knight, who's actually pipped Niman Shakya. Niman Shakya, unfortunately, not making any improvements, so he's dropped down to P6. And this battle might come down to the wire when we'll have to see who takes that 5th spot. Maybe it could be Faizan, who has one final tidy lap to jump to P5. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, we got a minute to go in qualifying. You've got Faizan starting his lap. We've got Tejasvi also, who's starting this final lap. So let's jump on board him when we get a chance. Faizan has well and truly not taken the best of exits, and he'll have to actually basically call it quits. Dark Knight, well, the Ferrari looks clean so far on the lap. We'll have to wait and see if he improves. But as of right now, oh, there you go. That's the uncharacteristic mistake, just pushing the limits of your car a little too much, and Barcelona is now going to be apologetic in that fashion.
I
10
don't think
seconds to
Deepak has enough
go.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not think so either, but we will see. He's squeezing every inch of the track. Going into the final corner, the finish line is
No, he
right
does
there,
not. He does not have enough
and
time, and
he is
that's
the
the end of
first
the
one
session.
to finish the qualifying session. Unfortunate there to be on the wrong end of the timing sheet. But Tejasvi, SD, how is Tejasvi doing on his lap? Is he improving? No, he's
No,
not.
I think he just invalidated there once we went off board him, and yeah, that's your top 5 for tonight.
Indeed, indeed. So the likes of Deepak Raj, your prediction was spot on there. And that is going to be him getting the prime spot on the Superpole that's going to come in a few minutes' time. So stick around for a couple more minutes. We will be back shortly. So don't go anywhere.
Darling, I've been tempted by the darkness, telling me that I should throw it all away. Fight so hard, my heart is hardly helpless. Find myself so desperate on my knees to break. And I hear the voice of
2 minutes
an
is left.
angel telling me not. And I feel the spirit guiding, telling me not to give up. Hold on to every promise I've been praying for a night. I hold on to every coming, won't surrender, not tonight.
All good, SD? Yeah, let's.
The shadow rises, I walk through the valley, but I won't let nothing take my heart away. I recognize the powers as they ready. Call the names, I break them one by one and face to face. And I hear the voice of an angel
As of
telling
now,
me not.
probably Utikul and Kiran can make through if Shan.
Hey, welcome back, folks. After that short break, we are just about ready to head into the Super Bowl session. So, just to kind of walk you through what Super Bowl is, it's five folks battling it out for the top place in the race to come. Each driver goes one at a time, sets one and only one flying lap. You mess it up, you're done. You're at the back. You're basically in fifth place. No, it's a very ruthless kind of qualifying session, but it brings out the best in the drivers to see if they can actually handle the pressure. So yeah, SD, your thoughts on who do you think is going to come out on top for Super Bowl?
Yeah, I cannot disregard that Audi as usual, Deepak. But um, if I remember, Deepak has good experience of doing Super Bowl. I'm not sure exactly how much Tejasvi, let's say UT Cool, has experience of, but based on the information I have right now with me, I would say it's the all Deepaks to take for.
Interesting, very interesting. I like that you're sticking to your boy Deepak. Yeah, let's wait and see. I think our boys are just about ready, so we'll switch when we do. Um, what are the some of the interesting points to watch out for in Barcelona? Because it's a technical track. If you're pushing a little too hard, you're going to be invalidating. So, where the points where you think the drivers have to be a little more careful just to ensure that they don't mess it up?
So yeah, braking for turn one at the 100-meter point, just after the 100-meter board, is very important. Turn four, especially, you may think that it's just like a long right-hander, but angling your car into the corner is very important here. And if you go minuscule wide, as I did in my Super Bowl lap, yeah, it will ruin any chance of you getting a good time on board. So yeah, turn four, turn five, very important. And the most important point is, I think it's turn nine or turn 10, after the second straight. So yeah, that point is very important because the breaking point is a very weird one because you see that the breaking point is 100, but you have to break at 120, sometimes even 140. Depends on the car you have under you. It depends on the tires, how you have prepped the tires. So that point is very important. It can make and break your lap, and in the race it can give you warnings left, right, and center. So turn 10, one of the most crucial points. And yeah, if you want to say one of them, it's definitely turn 10.
Hmm. Alrighty. That turn 10 can definitely ruin a lot of laps. Is no stranger to the drivers, but in dying moments, that's the Hail Mary corner. That's the one that could probably also make your lap. So, with that said, let me take it as an opportunity to walk through James a Dark Knight on his first Super Bowl as he drives a scarlet red Ferrari, if you will. He is looking at the 100-meter board on the left side, braking as hard as he can, trying to angle his car into the bank, turn 1 and turn 2. It's very easy to unsettle the car if you take too much of the banking. Now it's just a waiting game, figuring out when is the right time to get on power, you get it gradually or not. So Dark Knight doing a very good job there. Going into the next next right-hander, it's an uphill one, but you can still lose the back end if you get too eager on throttle. Downhill braking into a left-hander there. It's all about figuring out the right braking point. The next one is an up left-right chicane and getting the car angled right and keeping the stability through the entire chicane and not overdoing it in terms of the positioning of the car into that sweeping right-hander, the 90-degree right-hander, which is infamous for like washing your car out if you get too greedy. Hard braking into the left, into the final sector. That's where the curb can eat you out alive, and that's where a lot of the laps have been lost. Going into sector 3, another waiting game to find out the right braking point. And the final, well, we call it the ping pong sector. Sometimes it's very, very slow and very technical. Quite I would say trotting along was Dark Knight there. Just wanted to make sure that he crosses the line, and he does a 1 minute 47.320.
Yep, definitely not the quickest of the times we have seen. Probably his second or two far from the pole lap. But yeah, I mean, he kept it tidy. He kept it within the track limits, and that's important because either one or all four of the next drivers can easily invalidate, and that's pole for Darkman. So yeah, at least he has a time on board, which is very important. And gives me the opportunity to take you on board a lap of Barcelona, done by Shan 7 in that beautiful Ferrari. Yeah, so let's go on board the Shan 7 as he goes up through the gears in the gear 6 right now, revving up the Ferrari with its max, and you have to be keeping an eye, as Kapil said, with the 100-meter board brake on the AstroTurf. He just uses it but did not angle the car, and you have to be on the curbs there to gain the maximum time, getting the shortest distance. Turn 3 is basically a lift off and then immediately on the power, try to wind as less steering lock as possible so as to not scrub too much speed. Turn 4, as I said, you have to angle the car towards the corner, try to be as tight to the apex as possible, taking the shortest distance to the next corner. Turn 5, which is definitely one of the difficult corners because there is no singular break point that every driver has their own break point, let's just say. Being downhill also washes your car off into turn 6, which is the quick left into the quick right. Definitely Shan not using the entire road, but he gets it neat and tidy nonetheless. Turn 9 is not brake per se, just a dab on the brakes and use your car's air to turn your car, as Shan does that really well, going into the infamous turn 10, brake just before the 100-meter board and get your car on the apex. He has missed the apex by a mile, but he did carry a lot of entry speed, so definitely it's a trade-off into turn 12, long uphill right-hander. Try to not lose your rear, try to not engage the TCI, you will definitely lose your time. Into the final couple of corners, the chicane is one of the worst in the calendar, but if you can get the exit right, Shan a little bit hesitant on the throttle, hits up the yellow curb, and across the final corner, he comes across the line, and that should be in the vicinity of a 45, and it is a 45.7, although still a second off the pole lap, I would say.
Yeah, there's so much more on the cards for these drivers, but you just have to make sure that you get through the line. That's more important than a scruffy lap. You can't just RTG in a Super Bowl, you only have one opportunity. That being said, my fan favorite Kiran is on board. So he's P3 right now on that beautiful blue and purple Ferrari, using every inch of the track, diving into turn 1. Oh my god, I'm having a fanboy moment there, using a lot of exit curb out of turn 2, nice and tight, and just beautifully sweeping around through turn 4 there. I like his positioning into the next set of corners there, letting his car build and get that traction, using a lot of the track to ensure that his exit speed is maximized. A V-shaped left-hander into the second sector, and I think he's going very, very neatly for Kiran there. Spotting his braking at the curb start, using a very good amount of the curb there. So very, very neat and tidy through the middle part of the sector, using all of the AstroTurf on the exit there. So that's when you know the car is on the limit, and Kiran Fernando is not leaving anything to chance here. Going into going into sector 3, the most slow and technical bit of Barcelona here, taking an interesting wide exit and wide apex, if you will. Final few corners, little bit hesitant there in terms of angling his car. Will he use all of the curb? No, very tentative there, but a good exit, and using all of the track width. Yes, no, not as much. He could definitely more on the table there, but still a fantastic lap of a 44.6 in those pressure scenario. Wow, that just shows you that he was on a mission. He did not want to take it easy, and he made that lap count.
Fuel the fanboy in you. has the fastest lap time around Barcelona in any group in any Superpole session. So,
That's
yeah, I
amazing.
mean, he has the time on board, and it's all down to Tejasvi, who is around the final couple of corners. He'll be hoping that his tires are up to temperature, but not overdone, because easily from turn 3 you can overheat your tires. He's slotting himself, taking a wide line. No, he's definitely taking the racing line, as he does set himself up, taking a good exit. Don't go over the curbs, over the curb too much, and invite it to lap time. And here we go. Tejasvi, everything to play for. Will he get the 1 point which he needs? So on board Tejasvi, we go going into, I think, 260, 265 as he goes on the AstroTurf. Does not point the car, but he's looking at the apex speed. Very, very good apex speed. Eating all the curve into turn 2, turn 3. Let's see how much he lifts. Not too much, not too much. So yeah, getting good apex speed, not running too wide, and that looks like a very, very good first sector. Turn 4 comes at you really quick after the turn 3. He has gone wide, and that's definitely lost him a couple of tenths. But the exit is still good, so maybe he can get some time off the back. And as we go downhill, turn 5, second gear, near to the apex, not too much. Don't go too wide there, my friend. Every one of the drivers have missed the apex of turn 7. Will he hit it? He is the closest, but that's a very bad exit from Tejasvi. That is not what you would like to see. Into turn 9, hitting the curve. Yes, definitely. That's a very good exit there. Going into turn 10, recuperate yourself a little bit, focus, and brake just before the 100-meter board. He has broken perfectly. That's a very, very decent corner from him. Taking all of the curve into turn 11, going as wide as the car allows, taking a V shape and getting a good exit into the final couple of corners. This corner is very notorious to has not run too wide. So setting yourself up for the chicane, missing the first curve, hitting the second curve. That's a good exit right there, and pretty sure it'll be close to Kiran's time, maybe even, let's say, 10th or 2 better. So he comes across the final corner, and that's, wow, that's really, really close. Like, Kiran, my friend, currently is on provisional pole.
Well, that is all. Maybe a one corner. That's, the exit out of turn 4 could be just
Yep.
what he did not want in terms of his best lap time, and that's the difference. Half a tenth. Tejasvi will be kicking himself that he's gonna have to start maybe P2, maybe P3. But the man on pole so far provisionally, Deepak Raj, rocking that Esports livery, is on the Superpole lap. He has done a 44.0 that in the qualifying session, and he will have to look at least being 6.5 tenths from that lap. So far so clean. The rocket ship really made mincemeat of turn 1, and I believe he's had a very nice turn 3 and 4 as well, using all of the track but not losing any traction, and good lines throughout. A bit of a moment there, but nothing to really take away. That's just the characteristic of that Audi. You do have to wrestle it through the corners because it just wants to go in a straight line ever so often. Going into the chicane right now, very neatly taking. I think he must be at this point in time the guy who's been closest to the apex, but completely missing the next one, washing out wide and having to lift off. So not the cleanest of turn 9s there. Spotting your breaking point at turn 10, diving into it, using all of the curve. I'm not sure if his positioning was the best there, but no time to lose. You've got just a few more corners. This is where the Audi, as SD pointed out earlier, is the weakest, so you'll want to keep his wits about him, attack the apex to the best of his ability. And yes, he's definitely done that on turn 1, and that's a heap of time as he mounts that yellow curb. Going to use all of the track width. That's exactly what you want to be seeing to cross the line, and he's only done a 44.8, not 44.50. So I'm not sure where the time, the shock is all there on SD's face and his voice. But ladies and gentlemen, Kiran Fernando with the pole position. My fanboy is up on top 44.6. Wow, that's an amazing lap. Oh, what just happened there, SD?
That's the prime example of having a time set and putting all the pressure on your competitors, because I'm pretty sure any other day Deepak would have obliterated that time, and even Tejasvi, but that's not expected. That's completely a curveball, and that 1 point that Kiran has gotten might actually help him go through in this through this group to the semis. So yeah, it's all to play for in the race, and do tune in, folks, for the race, which is going to be soon.
Yeah.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands.
Hey, welcome back, folks, from that very short break. We got 20 minutes of racing here at Barcelona coming your way in just a moment's time. I was just looking back at the times, SD, on what transpired. Kiran was, I think, the most consistent. I'm not sure what's gotten into him, because he's just been putting phenomenally consistent laps, improving on, with each passing moment, to go ahead and nearly, I wouldn't say completely, but nearly match his time in the qualifying session, where you just got so much more time to be a little more consistent. I think that's some fantastic showing from Kiran, and just puts him in that prime position to be in P1 for the race. He started out all the way back in the back of the grid last time around, and this time he's starting on the front. Will he be able to remain in P1 after turn one? Because Tejasvi, while we had the prediction that he would be the one defending into turn one against the likes of Deepak Raj, he's going to be in row two, and that rocket ship of Deepak Raj will be alongside trying to pip Kiran going into turn one. So, what are your predictions on what's going to transpire in turn one? In lap one of
And
Barcelona?
I definitely did not expect Kiran to put it on pole, but yeah, this will be different because the Ferrari is really good in the middle sector, and of course in the final sector because it has really good aero. Um, It'll all depend on the exit to of the final section again, because that exit will definitely determine how close the Audi is. And I expect the McLaren and the Ferrari to be equal in terms of top speed and in terms of acceleration. But yeah, again, if Deepak gets a good exit, if he can set both of them up after lap one, wait it out for the 20 minutes and maybe put on a move at the end of the race, it's all to play for. But yeah, I'm expecting as of now, um, maybe Kieran has it in the bag.
Oh, so weird. He's converting you as well. That's amazing to see.
I mean,
So
it's been a
I'm
very good performance, so yeah, definitely
yeah,
kudos
indeed,
kudos
yeah,
to
it
him.
does. Alrighty, I think we're just about to begin the session, so we'll switch in a moment's time. But yeah, the just to kind of take a step back at the rest of the grid, we've got Niman Shaki who's not been able to put in the best of performance. Dark Knight has been improving, so it's great to see that he got a chance in the Super Bowl. So he might be a surprise as well into coming into the race. Shan Seven kept his car clean. He's just a nice guy who just loves to just stick around and not dive too much into the action. But he is definitely not going to just shy away from the competition. So we'll have to see how that turns out, because last time around, the only word that we could, use to describe what happened through the race is pandemonium. So I'm expecting more of that with a little bit of a different grid. But yeah, that is all coming your way in a short moment's time. After which we will be heading to the Temple of Speed, and that will be another entire showing, because the setups are going to change. We're going to have not necessarily the Audi being the fastest, because we've got the Merc. Okay, nobody's really driving the Merc in Monza for this group, sadly. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, that's how it's going to be out for the rest of the day. This is the last qualifying session, so the leaderboards are more or less set. And those who are unable to qualify here, I think we're taking three from from Group B. So we will keep you posted on who's likely to qualify. We'll keep that on check as the sessions progress. So I'm not sure what's essentially happened. We're still trying to see if, yeah, there was a bit of an issue on the server side. So we will switch in a moment's time. But ST, in terms of raw pace, last time around, Deepak just drove away. He was 30 seconds ahead of the rest of the grid. Are you expecting the same this time around? Kiran is definitely not. He's closed the gap, and he doesn't have to go through the field this time around. So do you think that will make any difference, or do you think that the raw pace of the likes of Tejasvi and Deepak will just come through, and you might see them driving off into the distance together again?
It's not an easy circuit to overtake on, but if you have, let's say, if you were to give him a number, I would say you need to be at least half a second a lap quicker to set yourself up, or the driver ahead having made a mistake from the final corner. So, yeah, I feel like this race is going to be top three, just nose and head to tail throughout the entire, let's say, 15, 20 minutes, and maybe one of the drivers just braving it out and sending it one down the inside, or maybe down the outside into turn one. So yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
expecting this race, barring any incidents, to be concluded, or at least the battle to be on until the final lap. So yeah, it's definitely Kiran's to lose as of now, because he's definitely in prime position to get that P1.
Yeah, he indeed is. Every time somebody says that Kiran's on top and he's got the chance, just makes me so happy, because that fanboy in me just loves it so much. I think the session has just been forward, so we'll jump into it in just a moment's time. But what about the likes of Faizan and Iman Shakia? Because last time around, they were caught in incidents, they had issues, and they were just kind of like battered and bruised and thrown out. FIFA Connect especially. Oh my God, he had what could only be described as horror. To go back and forth, incident after incident, to kind of just be a ragdoll to be thrown around the circuit. Unfortunately, he's not joining us today. Probably in PTSD, if I can only imagine. Do you think the second end of the field have any shot of getting into the mix?
It's battle for P3 right now between two drivers. So Nimishaki and Faizan are in the contention to make it as the third member from this group into the semis. But it'll be interesting to see because Kiran is quite far behind. But if those two keep their noses clean, do not get disqualified, or do not be unfortunate enough to disconnect in any way, or finish 2 laps behind the leader, they will be classified for points, and based on their position they will be either 10 points or 15 points, or sorry, 10 points to 15 points. That's the maximum that these guys can, minimum and maximum these guys can get. So yeah, if those guys keep their noses clean, do not get disqualified, or at least get classified, they will definitely be able to surpass Kiran and go through to as the third driver.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Kiran has been showing some incredible pace, but the fact that he did not finish one of the races, I think it was Spa in day one, really has hurt his chances. He did not get any points in that race, and that's why he's not top three. So all of these efforts may still be in vain. We'll have to wait and see how that transpires. But we are just a few moments away going into the final sector. So SD, why don't you take it away with the race start?
Yeah, we're looking into the weird formation as usual we're accustomed to looking at, but in ACC with ghosting around. But yeah, this looks a very, very weird. Kiran has gotten completely stopped on track. That is a very weird thing to say. There is an issue with Tejasvi, or why is the car ghosted? But yeah, as we have green light right now, that's definitely an unsafe start of the race, as there is a contact between P4 and P5. The Audi might have the slipstream and send it down the inside of Tejasvi. There is a huge contact and huge crash. 3 of the contenders are out, and out of this, Kiran still keeps his lead as we're going far from the incident. We're into turn 3. Kiran keeps the lead. Tejasvi a bit wide into turn 3. Deepak tried to keep his nose in. Tejasvi making use of the track, and Deepak gets the position down to be able to keep it into P3. But we have a DT for Tejasvi. I just noticed that completely takes him out of contention for the race lead if that DT stands. So yeah, this again, as I said, turn 1, and it has already started to be chaos.
Well, what horrific scenes at the start to see 3 cars crash before even turn 1. So Niman Shakya and Tejasvi was completely out of position to the point where he was in a different planet. It looked like on a different track for some reason. So I have absolutely no idea what happened there. But I think the drive-through has been removed for Tejasvi because he just lost out as a result of it. It's unfair is what the teams stewards are deeming. So he's getting away with that one. But 3 wide before turn 1, the likes of Niman Shakya and I believe the big loser in this regard, who's already in the pits, are 2 cars. So we've got Dark Knight and Shan 7, the 2 Ferraris in the back and the front of the field, surprisingly enough. So they had to pit for major damages, and yeah, looks like they're already a lap down from the first lap itself.
Yeah, I mean, if Shan, that's a very big blow for Shan because he's sitting currently comfortably in P2. He was also very close to Tejasvi, so that's definitely a blow for his qualification chances. He can still get classified if he can get out on the circuit and not get lapped again. So hopefully, for this championship's sake, we can see him back on track and trying to get the points, at least the last position for this race. But at least points are points. So yeah, hoping that he can see him back on track soon as we see a battle brewing between Deepak and Tejasvi. Yeah, doing a very good first lap, staying away from any incident whatsoever with that comfortable start, as I say, because all the cover were going back. But Deepak not being that consistent, but this just being the second lap, and they have to just all over Deepak and into turn 9 and turn 10. This McLaren, this driver is currently looking to be the faster of the two.
Indeed. Oh, there's a mistake there from not one but two cars. Kiran going deep and Tejasvi as well, losing his rears. Very, very interesting lines from the likes of Kiran, and that gap from 1.3 seconds has extinguished to under half a second right now. So Kiran feeling the pressure from the two drivers behind. So we'll have to see if he can keep his wits about him going into the rocket ship corner for the Audi. Will he be able to close that gap? We'll have to wait and watch.
Yeah, just a side point for the viewers out here. Sean has driven out. He has straight gap to keep for the entirety of 16 minutes to go. So unless he gets lapped, it's gonna be just to see if Kiran catches him. But Kiran himself is making a little bit of mistakes, which brings Deepak and that blisteringly quick Audi into the mix. Tejasvi just sitting back, seeing where the cars ahead are weak, where they are strong, and will definitely be planning a move in one of the later parts of the race.
Yeah, but he can't be taking it too easy as well. Of course, his intention will be to make that red and white Audi as wide as possible and as big as possible on the back of all over Kiran's mirrors. But in case there's a slight slip up from Deepak, we've got Tejasvi who's just there at the end of the frame to pick up the scraps. And in this section in particular, you see the dynamic going away from Deepak attacking Kiran to defending from Tejasvi. So it looks like at this point in time, they're very equal in terms of their pace throughout the course of the lap, and the gap is ebbing and flowing throughout the lap. And that's just a beautiful characteristic of Barcelona that we're witnessing with these kind of cars on display. Tejasvi now inches away from the likes of that Audi, but all he can do is stare at that booty of that Audi as he just sails away as that rocket ship of a V10 is going to be charged. He's fully into the slipstream, but he can do little to gain. Thinking about a move down the inside, who's going to be breaking the later of the two, going side by side into turn one. A bit of a slip up and contact between the two. That is unfortunate there, and Audi of Deepak Raj has come out at the worst of it, and looks like Tejasvi has realized that mistake and is going to let the Audi pass. That's some great sportsmanship on display, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think he just cooked it a bit too hard into turn one. This is, I mean, that's the time. If you take too much speed and the rear will not cooperate with your fronts, and you just get a power slide that he got, and yeah, this has given Kiran more than 4.5 second lead. This currently is boding well for Kiran, but as we know, anything can happen, and definitely Tejasvi will be looking to get past Deepak as quickly as possible, seeing that Deepak is making a little bit of mistakes today.
Yeah, you cannot see it, behind the scenes, but I am waving my flag in support of Kiran right now, because he's doing a fantastic job just driving away from the competition as these two squabble. They've been squabbling throughout the entirety of Qualifier 2, and this is just another one of those races where they are at each other's throats. But this time around, they're not battling for the lead, but for the second spot. So at the expense of this beautiful battle that's broiling, you've got the likes of Kiran, who's killing it out there with another 45.1, 3 seconds this lap time. This lap faster than the rest of the pack. So yeah, that's some fantastic driving from Kiran. While we look at Tejasvi in that, I want to say greyish, brownish, golden. I'm not sure. I might be colorblind at this point, maybe. can figure out what color that is. He gets closer and closer to that esports Audi R8.
Yep. With all this battling going on between these two, I'm pretty sure Tejasvi knows now that he will need a mistake from Deepak. As Deepak goes wide here again, will Tejasvi be able to keep his nose in? Deepak using the Audi, but it looks like Deepak is just completely car ahead. Tejasvi sends it, makes the move stick, and that's, my folks, is how you get the move done when it's a mistake from the driver ahead. And Tejasvi is very important to nail the next couple of corners and get more than 6/10 from the last corner, because otherwise that Audi, my friend, will eat you up into turn one. So what I was going to say was, Tejasvi knows that he needs to be within 1/10 of the car ahead, the Audi ahead, then he has a chance to make a move. Otherwise, it's a no-show, no-go at all, because he needs to brake much later than the Audi, and the Audi itself brakes much later and has good brakes. So yeah, but all that goes out of the window because it is we already make the move. So yeah, Deepak has relinquished that P2, and now it'll be interesting to see if Deepak can follow TSV. And by the looks of it right now, looks like he has just gotten 6/10 or 7/10 gap, and yeah, that looks to be enough for now. And yeah, the McLaren driver definitely would like to get that gap up and extend the gap to Deepak and reduce the gap to him.
Yeah, he definitely made the move at the right time in on the lap, because he went into the strongest sector ahead of Deepak, and he used the McLaren's tight and nimble nature to kind of extend the gap just enough so that he will not have any issues. Further behind, we've got Faizan and Niman Shakia battling it out in the middle sectors as we kind of jump into it. Faizan using all of the track width to defend against the likes of that McLaren. Actually, very similarly glossy color between the two of them. Looks very neat on the frame. But we'll have to see if Neyman can actually come out of this battle ahead cleanly, because he was one of those folks who had a major incident out of turn one. Luckily, he did not incur any damages against the likes of Dark Knight and Shamsa.
Faizan was a bit wide. Yeah, I mean, he's gone completely wide there. And watch for his rejoin. That's very, very, very close to an unsafe rejoin there. But Niven tried to keep around the outside of the corner. My friend, you'll always be pushed wide, and he gets a power slide, and Faizan keeps ahead. But that was very, very, let's say, interesting rejoin from Faizan, and just, let's say, within the rules to keep his nose ahead and battle Niven for another day.
Yeah, he threw the kitchen sink in terms of a defense there. Keep Niman Shakia behind. With all his experience in racecraft, Faizan using every trick in the book to ensure that Aston Martin stays ahead of Niman Shakia. But in terms of raw pace and the confidence of track, Niman Shakia is taking no prisoners as he smashes into the back of Faizan there, just getting the traction right in terms of his lines. Folks have different times to kind of wean off and then position themselves, and these two were completely out of phase there in that moment. But luckily, they are still line and stern in the same position, and Niman Shakia will have to continue putting on that pressure to see if Faizan can actually falter. But god damn, that Aston Martin is so wide, there is absolutely nowhere Niman Shakia is able to position his car to actually get it moved.
Yeah, judging by the inputs of Niman, I think he's a controller, but yeah, he's really doing a good job to control the car and not lose it on the traction zones, because you see that the car is really, really unstable. And Faizan again goes for a wide incursion, and Niman just about misses, and they go side by side into the next corner. Faizan trying to keep his nose in, goes for a bit of lawn mowing, and fortunate for us and the drivers, there is no contact, and Niman finally makes the move. Let's see how Faizan copes up with that move, and he decides to slot back in. That Aston should be really quick on the straight as well, but is that as quick as the Audi? We'll see in the next couple of seconds.
Yeah, the McLaren actually getting a much better exit. That's the issue that Faizan was facing. He was not able to keep full control of his car. The pressure just getting to him, and Niman Shakya will absolutely take that and slowly drive away. And that's him moving up into P4.
Yeah, that's 1-0 for Niman right now because Faizan and Niman are just 1 point away from each other. So at 1 point now we've become one double into 2 point difference. So yeah, Faizan definitely needs to tie as Niman goes wide here, and that gives Faizan another opportunity. Next 6 minutes, this battle will be interesting to watch because if Faizan finishes ahead of Niman, Faizan and Niman are equal on points for the P3 position into going into the semis. So yeah, it's all to play for in Monza then after that.
Indeed. But Niman Shakya will want to make sure that he maximizes his own chances. He's had a lot of solid performances in the last day for Group B, and to finally come out and have a top 5 finish. Oh, wait! Having said that, with that incident of smashing into the back of Faizan, the stewards have deemed him responsible for causing a collision and they've awarded him with a 5-second penalty. So you've got a little over 5.5 minutes to increase that gap. Right now it's wavering around the 2-second mark. He's going to increase it by another 3 seconds in the next 5 laps to actually keep that P4, or else it's going to go back in the way of Faizan, and we'll have to see how things pan out in Monza.
That was 1 second that lap, so he needs, I dare say, 3 laps at least to get that gap to 5. And do we have 3 laps? Yes, we just about have 3 laps with the leader. I think probably the leader has probably 4 laps to go. So yeah, it's definitely looking like Niman has to be on his A game and extend the gap as much as possible. And Faizan try to be as consistent as possible and even try to be quicker than Niman Shakya, which right now doesn't look like it, at least in the first sector. So we have to come back to this battle at the end of the race.
Yep. And as for turn 1, I think the big losers were Dark Knight and Sean 7 being on the top of your screens. You can see that the stewards have deemed that Dark Knight was the culprit and awarded him a 10-second penalty for causing a major collision. So Dark Knight, I think, has kind of retired in the pits. He's not going to be coming out anytime soon. But that's an unfortunate race as it began for Dark. Having said that, 4 minutes to go. We've got the gap coming down slowly but surely. Kiran on top of his game, equal times between Tejasvi and Kiran. So Kiran definitely not bowing out of the fray. 44.9s is the pace of the leaders right now, while Deepak unfortunately is not able to keep up, somewhere in the mid 45s there. So definitely all to play for. I'm not sure if he actually has the pace Tejasvi. Catching is one thing in Barcelona. Just saw how difficult it was to make a move in this twisty circuit. So it may be a little too late, but never say never.
Yeah, he has it in the back. 2.7. No, I mean it's coming down really quick. By the last time we were on board with this battle, it was more than 4.5 to 5 seconds. So Tejasvi has gained at least 2.5 seconds in the last 3-4 laps. So he has the pace advantage, but is that going to be enough? We'll find out in 3 minutes to go.
Yep, flying moments. Kiran has kept it clean throughout the race, and he just has to do it a bit longer. And that consistency is coming to him. He is not losing his pace. He's using the lines that he knows and trusts that the car can do without unsettling the Ferrari all that much. Having said that, I've noticed that his line there is always to touch the gravel at the exit. They just seems to be doing that consistently. That's losing him a couple of tenths as the gap kind of dips to almost 2 seconds. Tejasvi now with a 44.8 and Kiran in the mid 45s last time around. So a little bit under pressure here, but I think in terms of the pace that he's maintaining right now, very well might keep that P1 with around 2 laps to go.
Yep, 2 laps to go. 2.4, not that big of a diff. I mean, he gained 6 tenths last lap, but yeah, that's not going to be enough. That amount of time gain is not going to be enough. Although, if these two were neck and neck right now, I would put my bets on Tejasvi because, as I said before, you need an overspeed, not overspeed. You need to be at least five to 6 tenths a lap quicker on this track to make a move comfortably in one of the corners. So he has the pace, but I think with the battle with Deepak and that small contact ruined Tejasvi's chances to win this race. And yeah, Deepak not being the consistent after the mistake and after the contact, so the bit of damage might have hampered his race pace today. But he has another chance of battling it out with these guys around Monza, which will be in the next 20 minutes or so.
Yep, so definitely stick around for that battle because you got a lot more action coming your way. Just in the back of the map, you can see the gap between Niman Shakya for P4 between him and Faizan has increased to around 4.5 seconds right now. So he's definitely putting in those laps, so it might be really close as Kiran Fernando goes into the final lap of the Barcelona Grand Prix with 2 seconds between him and Tejasvi. So I think he's done a very good job so far. My fan instinct is I cannot stop waving the flag right now. I'm just so happy that he might actually win this thing with just about 10 seconds to go. But yeah, thoughts on the race, SD, because we got the final lap going on and the gap increasing between P4 and 5, and Deepak just taking it home in P3. How is it
Yep,
transpiring?
the battle, the contact for which Dark Knight was deemed the incident, deemed the perpetrator for the incident, actually robbed us from a midfield battle, let's say, because I think Dark Knight and Sean would have been right on these two for the fourth position for this race. But expected a bit more closer battles across this track as we had been having for the last couple of days with the other group and this group. As you said, it's been a pandemonium the last race. So yeah, the midfield battle has been robbed, but although it has been a decent enough race, but given that we just been seeing some consistent driving from the guy who is P1 right now, and it's been let's say a bit of topsy-turvy start, but right now it's looking like it's going to be a close end as we round off the final chicane. Kiran really losing 2 seconds on that lap, but what matters right now is the checkered flag drops and Kiran crosses the line in P1. Maximum points for the first 2 points giving sessions for Kiran, and that will boost his confidence and his chances going through this group in the semis. Tejasvi after that ding dong battle in P3 as we see Shan just ending it all in the straight, but Nimal Shakya crosses the end of the finish line. Faizan has dropped off completely or so. No, I don't know what happened there, but Faizan currently shown 4.2 seconds behind. Will the 5-second penalty cost Nimal Shakya a chance? Yes, it does. By tenths of a second, and that's Faizan and Niman equal on points going into the final race of the group around Monza.
Oh, that was just so close scenes there, and the battle for P3 in this group is just getting so hot. Oh man, it was. If it was a 30-minute session as it was expected to be in the start, maybe the story may have been different. Tejas, we might have pulled down the gap. We might have seen more battles. You never know. But it is what it is with the 20-minute session there, with some neat close racing to finish off race 5 of 6 here for Group B in day 6. We're going to take a short break, so grab some more popcorn as we head into the Temple of Speed. We are going to also ready for some more action. So stay tuned, folks.
Yep.
Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
invincible.
Welcome back after that short break. Oh my god. ISD, I think you have some news for us. Post race shenanigans from the likes of the stewards. What's transpired after the
Yeah,
race?
so if the viewers would have been if the key night viewer would have noticed that was been perplexed seeing that the gap between Faizan and Nirman reduced from 6.6 to 4.2 at the end, and it kind of caught me off guard. But right now, after the stewards have seen and reviewed that anomaly, and they have deemed that Faizan had actually cut the final corner and gained a significant advantage out of it. And due to that, they have decided to penalize Faizan with 5 second time penalty, dropping him back behind Nirman, and now the gap is again increased to 2 points. So Faizan has to finish 2 positions ahead, or 3 positions ahead to actually overtake in points. But if he finishes 2 positions ahead, it'll be in terms of count back, in terms of average finishing order, exact. That's done in the back end. So we'll figure out exactly how that pans out. But the battle has gotten incredibly difficult for Faizan to make it through now.
Yeah, some naughty stuff there from Faizan at the end of the Grand Prix, cheekily trying to manipulate the time back under 5 seconds. So Stewart's absolutely having none of that. Well, it is what it is. We've got one more race here for Group B. We are heading into Italy, into the Temple of Speed. This is one track where top speed matters. So it is filled with tight and twisty corners, short ones in between long straights. That's the nature of the track. So SD in for Monza. Which are the cars which are likely to have an advantage and which might be a little on the back foot in this group?
I've been talking about the Audi being a rocket ship, but Monza, all equations are equal. Everyone will be running around the similar wings, but I think the McLaren currently is the fastest car there, along with the Mercedes, the Evo Mercedes or the old Mercedes. Those two cars are just, I mean, McLaren just gets insane traction out of the corners, and that actually gives that car really, really good advantage to keep the top straight line speed, to keep the car ahead in terms of the top speed. Also get a very good Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 and Ascari, which is very important for everyone, all the McLaren drivers especially. So the Audi right now, I think, will be in the back foot. I think if Tejasvi can get his nose and get a better race start that he got a warning for the last race. Sorry, Kiran got a warning for the last race due to the lack of proper race start. But if Tejasvi gets a better race start, he will definitely, I think, will be able to keep his nose ahead. But again, with the slipstream, with the very, very interesting braking zone into turn one, I don't think can happen. And I hope that we do not have a repeat of the turn one incident that we had in last race.
Yeah, for sure. We want to keep those pretty front bumpers clean and not muddled up. So just looking at the lovely cars on the grid, we've got the likes of three Ferraris on their home turf, so to speak. We've got one McLaren in P2. So you'll definitely, with the straight line advantage that McLaren has, looking to make sure that he makes his position very well aware going into turn one itself. So just a few moments away from that taking place. But who are your predictions, SD, to take the top step here in Monza?
I think Kiran might have it. Ferrari is a well all-rounded car here, but if Tejasvi gets his nose ahead and gets a good start, I think it's Tejasvi's to lose.
Very well put. Shan 7 is the other Ferrari right behind Tejasvi. He really missed out last time around, so he'll definitely want to make sure that he ends on a high note. Iman Shakia right there at the back of the shot. Well, he also was caught in that incident last time around. So we were just a few moments away. SD, why don't you take it away with the race again?
Yep, it's a bit of gap between the first row and the second row. Again, Kiran having a very big lead. We got a warning for doing this exact same thing last lap, so none of them get a DT, and Kiran, although in the lead, doesn't get the best of the launches. McLaren, as you will see soon, will eat up to the Ferrari's advantage. Will the McLaren get significantly alongside going into turn one? There is a bit of incident. The Audi has broken very, very late, but he keeps his nose clean. There's a bit of bump there, just so as to not make contact with the lead, and the Audi of Deepak has lost out incredibly there. An insane amount of time loss and position loss, and I think Kiran and Tejas were going side by side, which we are not able to see right now. Yes, going side by side. The McLaren should have the overlap going into turn, the second of the chicanes of the lap. Will the McLaren keep his nose in? 2 into 1 does not go there, but all saying while it does not keep, and there is a big contact, and that's Kiran out of the equation, out of the race lead there, and Tejasvi takes the P1. But what happened there?
Chance 7 just had a much more superior exit there. That compromise line between the battle of Tejasvi and Kiran really altered and had a major impact in terms of the exit for Kiran, and Shan 7 was simply not ready to see such a slow moving Ferrari out of the De La Rocha chicane, and he smashed into the back of him, spinning him out. But oh boy, from the race start right now, Faizan from the back of the grid has moved up into P2. What an insane start right now for him as he flies away from just keeping his nose clean through and through, and moves up into P2 at the end of the first lap. The Audi of Deepak, they're taking no prisoners at Turbo Alboreto, and shoving his Audi through to move up into P3. But what happened in turn 1 for Deepak, SD?
Yeah, I think he just broke a bit too late, got spooked by a little bit, so as to not make contact with Kiran up ahead. But doing so, he slowed down so much the cars on the outside just went round the outside. And we see Dark Knight making a move on Deepak. Deepak still having a bit of his nose, and Deepak makes a bit of contact there that slows down the entire pack. And will Kiran take advantage of that? He's on the grass, doesn't get a good exit, and Dark Knight decides to keep the position back, which is a bit astonishing given that. And that will make him vulnerable to who's the other Ferrari? I think it's Sean behind. So Sean and Dark Knight going side by side into the Rosia chicane. Dark Knight breaking all the breakers, really Deepak. No, he does not, and really keep his car straight. I don't know how he has not hit Deepak right there, but all of them just enter into the corner in the same position and exit in the same position, and that is very interesting to see. As we see, who is that? Niman Shakya sending it down the inside of Karan into the Lesmos. Do not go side by side here. Although Niman tried to have those traction issues, but we are following this Shan and Niman's battle. Is that Kiran? Sorry, no, it is Niman and Dark Knight. So Shan going side by side. Dark Knight has lost out a lot in this, and Niman Shaki just goes around the outside of Shan, and this is just letting the leaders away. And Niman Shaki are taking that insane exit out of Ascari, just goes too wide, and we have Kiran trying to make a move on their fellow Ferraris. Ferraris just lying astirred there, nose to tail. Will Kiran now send it down the inside? Yes, he does. But will there be a switch back from Shan? No, he does not get a better exit, and these four are just having a topsy-turvy battle here at the tempo speed.
Yeah, such an incredibly close midfield there. Deepak Raj getting into contact with Shan 7 last time around. The battle is not over. You've got a train of weaving cars. Shan 7 breaking late. Kiran moving on to the braking and pays the price as a result. Rightfully being tapped by Shan 7. He's saying,
I hope Niman slows down here. Sorry. I hope Niman slows down. That will be a DT otherwise. And he does just enough to not get a DT. Thank God for his sake.
Indeed. I missed it with that move of Kiran darting to the left as he broke, really throwing off Niman Shakya, and he moved. He lost 2 places as a result of that. So 3 Ferraris are now stuck together with the McLaren hot on their tail. Oh boy, what an insane lap two. Just so much going on there. Faizan still in P2 and Deepak in all of that somehow was not caught in the battle. We had a flying Sean 7 going to De La Roja and I don't know, miraculously kept control post launch and also did not make any contact. Having said that, Kiran driving into Ascari there, breaking just in time. Good defensive maneuver from Sean 7. The Ferraris are so hot right now in terms of their closeness to each other on track. There's nothing separating them. This was the same position last time around as well. Will Kiran send down the inside? No, but Sean 7 missing the apex because he was just so close to Kiran. And Kiran just gets the superior exit, flies out of Koval Burrito to move up into P4.
Oof, that's been a very, 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 very busy couple of laps. But that contact and that incident between the two incidents at lap one and which is at turn two between Deepak and a couple of drivers, actually might be a blessing in disguise for him because that has kept his nose clean. Other than those two incidents, and the cars around in and around him have been having a lot of battles and a lot of contacts. So yeah, Kiran right now he's been quite very, very far in terms of points, but in terms of battle for the lead, I think Kiran might be already out of it. What do you think, Kapil?
Yeah, it definitely looks to be the case because Tejasvi is just a couple of corners ahead. He's just out and out. I think in terms of the folks that can still have a chance to qualify, the red Scarlet Ferrari of James Robin is not all pleasing for Neman Kakia as he's trying every bit of his skill to try and force a move in the technical section of Monza, and unfortunately in this incident was not able to make any progress there. Why are we stressing out on this fact? Because as we went into this race, gap for P3 in qualifier to Group B was 3 points in the favor of Neman Shakya. But Faizan having that amazing godlike reaction to go and slice through the field in the opening lap has essentially put him in a position where he's P2, 3, if not 4 positions ahead of Neman Shakya, and that's exactly what he needs to qualify for the semi-finals.
Nimel has to finish within the top 5 of this race so as to have a chance to qualify, and as it stands, Dark Knight just missing the apex, putting that what do I say, the barrier into the track and hitting the other cars. I hope there's no damage from that. I don't think ACC has that taken into consideration, but that's let's just say one of the funny moments of the race, I'd say.
Yeah, it's throwing some shade onto the rest of the track, saying that hey, I am now going to be able to defend, but here's my sneak attack into Neman Shakya. Also, just not in a comfortable position to go down the inside of Sean 7, and he just kind of sneakily skipped the first part of the erosion, losing out huge speed out of the corner. And now James Robin, we've got like roles reversed at this point in time, but has kind of sneaked in on him and like reduced the gap to around the 4 tenths. So this battle might very well be done because of the pace difference, but Neman Shakya has to keep that pressure on. He needs to make another move if he wants to qualify for the semi-final. Having said that, what's going on track? We got 2 cars side by side, SD.
Yep, Deepak tries to make a move around the outside, although this will not bode well for him going into turn 1. That Audi, although really quick on the straights, that Aston is also a good match for it. Neck and nose and tail into the first corner. The Audi is getting a bit of side draft. Who will be the last of late breakers going into turn 1? 150 is your marker to see. Faizan just veering into the racing line. He is the latest of the two. Gets a very, very good entry into turn 1, a very good exit, and that's one of the best defenses I've seen from Faizan, who has been a really, really long-standing member of ISL.
Fantastic defense there. Absolutely putting the pressure on, squeezing Deepak all the way to the edge of the track and then just sending it down the inside. Not in a dive bomb this time around, but in the right kind of positioning. But having said that, he makes that Aston Martin as wide and thick as possible in the Della Roger chicane. Deepak having to brake in the middle of the chicane as Faizan messes up that, but he still keeps speed. But how much longer can he keep this defense up? But he has to. If we are little under 10 minutes, we're halfway into the Grand Prix, and Faisal needs to keep this position if he has to have any chance of qualifying for the semi-finals. So this very well might throw a spanner in the mix. Not exactly, maybe if Deepak is not considering the points. I've just realized that. But oh boy, that is a very feisty little battle going on for the second spot.
Yeah, definitely. I think Deepak has been qualified from Q1. And that's a very rash move. Making contact with Faizan, that's definitely going to be one of the incidents looked at by the stewards. But that was a very rash move from Deepak, and I hope that Faizan does not have a bit of damage from too big of a damage from that, because we have Kiran hot on these guys as well. So it's not completely plain sailing for these two, but I think Deepak definitely will be that incident between Deepak and Faizan definitely be looked at afterwards.
Yeah, that I believe Deepak just missed his breaking point, being so close to the Aston there, and he looked like he wanted to dive down the inside first to avoid the Aston, and as a result, fortunately, could not take enough of an avoiding action to be as clean as possible, and he keeps a position at the end of all of this, probably because it may not matter at the grand scheme of things, but that is something, yeah, the stewards will definitely have a look at. Having said that, you're absolutely right. Kiran has closed down the gap. It is now under 2 seconds, and this is definitely for position in the point scheme of things for the Group B qualifiers. We'll have to see who actually comes out on top, but the pace is really looking in the favor of Kiran. Wouldn't you agree, ST?
Yeah, Kiran definitely has the pace, given that he's in the Ferrari, and that's more of a superior car on this track. But Faizan, again, we saw an example of a very good defense from him into turn one from Deepak. So I will expect him to do the same for the other drivers as well. But Faizan, I think, is one of the persons who got lost out with their contact. But I think he might get a helping hand from the stewards there, given that incident and the extent of damage he's got.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they penalize Kiran for that very cheeky little move, moving under braking against Shan 7. Now that was a battle in itself, but pace-wise, 2 seconds reduced between the pair of them in that last lap alone. So Kiran definitely pushing his agenda, of course. So we'll have to wait and see how it transpires, because it very well might be the change that defines the race for Q3. In the midst of all of this, there's so much battling going on track, and cars just flying around into and through each other. Tejasvi has well and truly checked out. I just was noticing the last couple of laps, and the man is absolutely flying. 47.7 race pace. That is 7.5 times faster than Group A last time around. He is simply blitzing the field in terms of pace, because he's already brought out a near 19-second gap in the span of 15 minutes. That's his incredible pace he's on display, and just goes to show you what kind of a contestant he is, as he is definitely going to be qualifying for the semi-finals and showcasing all of his pace in the bigger stages later on. But having said that, Kiran Fernando diving down the inside, missing the breaking point, going onto the
Oh
curb and
no.
off the track in a hasty move on Faizan. And Faizan will be licking his lips saying that, hey, you know what, that was a big miss on you because you may not have as many opportunities this time around. With 5 minutes to go, the position for P3 still remains.
Have a bit of bad news for you. The stewards are currently on the process of dishing out the penalties, and yes, Faizan has gotten a 5 second plus one for moving under braking in on lap one. So that's one of the incidents which I think we missed out. There was a lot of kerfuffle going around, so we missed it. On the other hand, Kiran has gotten a 10 plus 1, 10 seconds plus 1 for the aggressive defending and let's just say moving excessively under braking into lap 1. So yeah, if Kiran overtakes him, he has to get a lap of 5 seconds in the next 3 laps remaining in the race.
What is happening right now? So you're saying, Kiran, if he wants to put a spanner in the mix right now, has to make the move as they go side by side into Ascari. Will it be a clean move? He breaks late, cuts across, and man, that is the way to do it. Going into the most technical section of Monza, and he made it look easy. So go Kiran there. But he's going to have to extend that gap to another 5 seconds with little under 2 laps to go. So it's a bit of a tall ask for Kiran, but he's got a fresh, clean, open track ahead of him, and he's going to be pushing the limits. 2 quali laps coming away from this purple and blue Ferrari, and we'll have to see whether he can eke out that gap to 5 seconds. Unlikely right now, but we'll have to wait and watch.
He has one of the seconds with him. It's gone completely straight. Oh my goodness, that's a very, very bad sight to see. Will he get a DT from that? No, he does not. Just keeps it. I mean, has he gained time? Definitely yes. Will he keep that time? I hope not, because that will incur him another 5 seconds. Although I think he's already 1.2 right now behind. So net loss or gain of 0 from that mistake from Faizan. But yeah, that was very, very scary for us viewers as well as Kiran, as you would have seen a flying Aston in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, and he took no prisoners in terms of the bollards as well. He just smashed through the plastic, the styrofoam there. Not interested in taking the nimble way out is the Aston Martin. So we'll see if he comes out clean from the steward side. He already has a 5 second. Deepak as well has a 5 second, and so does Shansan. I'm like almost everybody except for the leader and Niman Shakya surprisingly has that 5 second. In the background, you just saw Kiran going deep, and that is not good news for him as he's trying to eke out that gap. But from the looks of it, we will have actually 2 more laps of racing to go. Will Tejasvi slow down given the humongous gap he has? We'll have to wait and watch. But if in case that there is an extra lap, it will definitely be helping the cause of Kiran to get that extra gap out. But yeah, as it stands, Faizan looking the favorite to have that 3 second gap and qualify for some points.
Yep, the HSP's pace is so good right now that I think if you probably put Davlish and this guy on track, they would be having the battle of their life. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed with Tejasvi's pace. Even he has been completely free from any incidents per se, and others may be carrying damage. But 47s consistently in the race is unheard of. Other than the driver I mentioned here, who has done that before. So yeah, bring on the semis for him, I guess.
Indeed. So has bigger prospects in a couple of weeks' time. So it's great to see good competition coming out of qualifier 2 because Davli Singh will definitely welcome it as we go on to the next stage of the competition. We are 15 seconds in. What will Tejasvi do? Will he slow down? Will he cross the line? It doesn't look like he's going to slow down. He's going to carry on and
Right, man.
extend
The
the
leader
gap
is on the
one more
final
lap.
lap.
He
Clear the
really,
final
really
push.
did not have to do that, but he's choosing to do it with another 47.8. He just wants to make this a show of pace, I suppose. And Faizan will slowly start to get worried with the kind of pace he's showcasing because the gap has increased to around 2.7 seconds. He's got one more lap, so it's hammer time for Kiran, but it's not looking all that promising right now. Your thoughts, SD?
Yeah, I think it's might be not enough for Kiran, unless Faisal makes a radical mistake in the middle sector, which he is maybe struggling the most. He needs to eke out 3 seconds on this lap, which I think will be very difficult per se. But I think Faisal has missed the first corner again. This is definitely bordering towards, except because right now look at the gap. It's reduced to Eve. I mean, it's increased to 3 seconds now. I mean, 2 more seconds, and I think yes, has it's down to what is going on. Is Kiran missed the corner ahead?
I'm not
It's
entirely sure
4.5
if
now. I mean,
Faizan is slowing down on purpose or it looks to be an interesting tactic, and Stewards will have to look at it a little more clinically to see how much he's gained or lost with each one of those issues. It's not exactly clean racing when you avoid the track consistently to kind of have a say on how much time you gain or lose. That will definitely be looked deeper with the Stewards, but that is
The leader
not
has finished the
the
race.
matter for Tejasvi as he crosses the line with another 47.690, nearly his fastest lap of the session at the end of 20 minutes. A fantastic showing there, a dominant performance to take the victory. P2 will go in the favor of Deepak Raj, crosses the line uh, with a 48.8 with a 5-second penalty, but that will not be a matter. Kiran Fernando crosses the line in P3, but yeah, he's just eked out that 5-second gap at the end of it, and which makes him a happy customer to finish in P3 here at Monza. P5 goes to Shan 7. He has a 5-second gap to Niman Shakya, so Niman Shakya will not get that extra position as a result of all those incidents. We'll have to see. I believe they're equal on points is Faizan and Niman Shakya, so we will let you know who is qualified, but a very close finish through to the end of the session. Oh boy, oh
I
boy.
think I think they will be equal on points. Yes, you're correct, Kapil. Both of them are equal on points, so we need to exactly see what we are going to be looking at, what the backend is taking in terms of the, let's say, higher finishing order or more positions. I don't know exactly how that is taken into consideration, but
Mhm.
yeah, the top two, Shan and Tejas, we have qualified for semis. Congratulations to them. But the last position is will be updated on the leaderboard for the viewers and for the drivers. I repeat, you can go to acc.esports.in. You can select the tournament stage with the chip selector at the top. Select qualifier two, and you can go to the respective group you're looking for, and there you go. You can see the summary. You can see all the race results one after the other in the same page. Also, an overall page to see your best lap times for the prize money. And yeah, all these details that we are looking at can be seen, I repeat, on acc.esports.in.
Yep, the data will definitely speak for where everyone stands. We've got qualifier one data as well, so the contestants will be looking at it as closely as possible to see where they stack up as they go into the semifinals. Are they on the top? Will they be fighting it out for the top, or will they be just struggling to stay in for the finals? That's all what the data will let us know. But hey, that is the end of day six and Group B's racing as a whole. Three qualifying sessions, three super poles, and six races. And yeah, it's just great performances through and through. So it's great to see these folks come out and show such enthusiasm here for qualifier two. So congratulations again to the winner. We will let you know who has taken the final spot in a few moments time. But until then, we've got one more day here in qualifier 2, that is for the wildcard entry. SD, do you want to explain who gets the entry for tomorrow and the format as well?
Yep, definitely. So we'll have for the drivers taking part eligible are the drivers who did not qualify from a particular group in this qualifier. Also, the drivers from qualifier one who went through. There is a 10 drivers who did not get a prize pool, get any prize money from the prize pool, but are already through from qualifier one. They will get an opportunity given that they have not set a lap time on any one of the days till now. So I'm giving an example. So people like Worship the Panda, people like Gaurav Arora, who have not taken part in any one of the 3 days but already have qualified to qualifier one, they will be given an opportunity to take part tomorrow. But they have to attend all the sessions and be classified. That is within 3 laps of the leader in the races. So yeah, again I repeat, all the unqualified drivers from the groups and the drivers who have not set any lap time during this qualifier for the drivers who have already qualified from qualifier one. So yeah, in terms of the format, we'll be having all three tracks tomorrow, and that's I'm really looking forward to it because I'll be taking part and I'll be going through the emotions of ups and downs tomorrow. But yeah, you'll have qualifying and race on each track of the three. So we'll have three qualifying sessions, three race sessions. The Spa qualifying will be starting with Spa. Spa will have 15-minute qualifying session, while the other qualifying sessions will be 10 minutes each, and all races are 20 minutes, as you've seen tonight. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting format. I'm expecting a jam-packed grid of fast drivers. I think you'll see me and Kiran fighting out tomorrow. Maybe people like Panda will also join the fray. So it's going to be I'm expecting a very good battle tomorrow. A lot of action, a lot of incidents, maybe a lot of close end-to-end battle across Barcelona and Monza per se. So yeah, do tune in, and definitely tomorrow at 8 p.m. IST, we'll be having the final day, the second chance, and yeah, all to look out for and all to play out for the final 2 or 3 qualifying spots to the semis.
Very well put there. Yes, you heard it from the man himself, ladies and gentlemen. So do tune again tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. IST, for the final day of Qualifier 2. We'll keep you posted on what's transpired here for Group P, who's moved on and who has to take part tomorrow. So until then, stay safe and we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye bye.